Welcome to the podcast Entrepreneurship Dives, where we dive deep into the research, data, facts, and random thoughts behind and about entrepreneurship. Here's something that might surprise you. During the COVID-19 pandemic, receiving government support actually made people more likely to start businesses, not less. It completely flips what we thought we knew about entrepreneurship on its head. Today's podcast is about the brand new paper by Sebastian Aparicio, Nicholas Litzardopoulos, and George Saradakis, published in Technovation. My name is Chris, and I am interviewing Sebastian. Hi, Sebastian. Your research is fascinating because it challenges the traditional narrative about government assistance, making people dependent. What exactly did your research find?
Well, the numbers are pretty striking. Government support increased entrepreneurial aspirations by 0.12 points during the pandemic, and the probability of becoming self-employed jumped from 0.05 points pre-pandemic to 0.09 points during the crisis. We're seeing the emergence of what David Story called chancer entrepreneurs, people who make calculated bets, assuming unlimited resources.
So these aren't the typical opportunity or necessity-driven entrepreneurs?
Not at all. Think of them more like poker players who know how to read the table. They're leveraging two major advantages that weren't available in previous economic downturns: substantial government support and sophisticated digital technology. Our research shows that frequent internet use alone increased entrepreneurial intention by 0.27 points during COVID-19.
Those are significant numbers. How exactly does the combination of government support and digital technology create these opportunities?
You know what's really interesting is how these elements work together. The government support provides a safety net that makes people more willing to take calculated risks, while digital platforms like Amazon and Shopify lower the barriers to entry. It's like having both a parachute and a runway.
That makes me wonder about who's benefiting most from these opportunities. Did the research show any patterns among different groups?
Oh, that's where things get really interesting. The study found some surprising patterns. Women and older individuals showed particularly strong responses to government support during the pandemic. But here's the kicker. Younger people, who we might assume would be all over digital opportunities, didn't show significant increases in entrepreneurial aspirations from internet use.
Well, that's unexpected. What about income levels?
That's actually one of the most compelling findings. Digital tools had a particularly strong positive effect on people with lower earnings. When you combine frequent internet use with lower earnings, there was a statistically significant positive effect on self-employment. It's like technology became this great equalizer.
So, how are these chancer entrepreneurs different from traditional business founders in terms of their approach?
They're more like calculated risk takers who understand how to leverage institutional support and digital tools. Our research shows they're not just throwing caution to the wind, they're using government support as a cushion and digital platforms as leverage. It's a completely new model of entrepreneurship.
That seems to have huge implications for how we think about economic recovery during crises.
Exactly right. The research suggests we need to completely rethink our approach to economic disruption. Instead of just focusing on preservation and recovery, we should be looking at how to create environments that enable entrepreneurial innovation during crises. This means maintaining robust support systems and ensuring widespread access to digital infrastructure.
But surely there must be some challenges or downsides to this model?
Oh, absolutely there are. Our research points out several constraints: power asymmetries with platform owners, the complexities of digital marketing, and the need to constantly adapt to changing platform rules. It's not just about setting up an online shop and watching the money roll in.
How do successful chancer entrepreneurs navigate these challenges?
The key seems to be in how they use the combination of institutional support and digital capability. The government support acts as a buffer while they figure out how to navigate these digital platforms effectively. And here's what's fascinating. We show these support mechanisms were most effective when sustained over time, allowing entrepreneurs to develop their business models and adapt to changing circumstances.
Looking ahead, what does this mean for the future of entrepreneurship?
You know, I think we're seeing the emergence of a more adaptive and inclusive model of entrepreneurship. When you combine institutional support with digital capabilities, you create opportunities for a much broader range of people to participate in business creation. It's not just about having a great idea or lots of capital anymore. It's about being able to navigate uncertainty and leverage available resources effectively.
That really transforms our understanding of what it takes to be an entrepreneur, doesn't it?
It completely does. And perhaps that's the most important takeaway from our research. The idea that entrepreneurship doesn't have to be an all or nothing gamble. With the right support systems and tools in place, it can be a more calculated risk, accessible to a much wider range of people. That's pretty revolutionary when you think about it.
And it suggests some important implications for policymakers, too.
Absolutely right. The research makes a strong case that government interventions should be viewed not just as safety nets, but as potential catalysts for business creation. When combined with digital infrastructure, these support systems can transform crisis-driven necessity into long-term entrepreneurial success. It's about building resilience into the system before the next crisis hits.
Thank you all for joining us for this fascinating discussion. And we'll see you next time.
Thank you, Chris. We hope you and our listeners enjoy the reading and find inspiration for future research and discussions around Chancer entrepreneurs. Have a nice day.